Hi, I'm Jerry Pfeiffer, and this is the Phoenix East Valley Railroad. My layout is about approaching 3 years old. At the current time, I have about 1,450 feet of track. I have 4 continuous loops. My layout is 100% elevated, and the reason I did that is because I like live steam as well as the standard electric, and it's much easier to keep it clean. Plus, it's a lot easier to load everything. I don't like to get on my knees, and it's a lot easier to just reach over and load it. All of the steel work that you see here was built by Dan Hogue with Eagle Works, and Dan has become a good friend, helping me to design this, and I think that this is probably one of the largest layouts that he's built. I know there's a lot of layouts that are bigger, in length, but I think mine is the largest one that he's built that's totally elevated.
Hi, my name's Steve Vent. The name of our railroad is the Southwestern. The Southwestern Railroad actually got its name from when we lived in Hawaii. We lived in the southernmost city in the United States, so it was the Southwestern. I just took the name with me. I've been garden railroading for about 25 years now. This layout was started last July of 2006. Still have to do all my landscape, fine-tune some things, bring in some more detail stuff. But the basic track is in, trains will run, and we're enjoying it. I've been playing with trains since I was 4 years old. Went to G-scale after tearing up my 3rd N-gauge layout, and went to G-scale, and it made it much easier because if you move, you just pick up the track and the buildings and start over. It's been quite enjoyable. It's more of a family hobby. Get everybody involved. My wife's a garden railroader. My sister's a garden railroader. It's made it a nice hobby that it's more of a go out and do stuff instead of just sitting in the house and running trains around on a board. There's about 750 feet of mainline track, With all the sidings and the trackage that runs into the garage where the trains are stored, there's well over 1,000 feet of track. I run 122 scale, 122 and a half scale, because I was fortunate to get some LGB Astor engines and just stayed with that instead of changing. Buildings on the layout, there's a combination of scratch-built kits and custom buildings. Dan from Eagle Wings built me a roundhouse turntable, the track bridges that come out of the garage to run the trains out of the garage and onto the layout are from Dan. And then a buddy of mine in Hawaii built me a copy of the Juanita Bridge in Colorado, which spans across the main part of the layout. The big thing now is going to be to get more ground cover in to replace the dirt with ground cover and live plants. That's about the only big thing that's left to do. That and, like I said, detail stuff. Bring out the rest of my boxes of figures and add figures to the layout and scenes and stuff like that. But for the most part, the main part of the layout's done. You know, you don't have to build a big layout. My sister's layout's about 150 feet long. It's a real nice basic layout. Just get out and do it. You can always add on, you can always add on. You can just start small and just keep going. You don't have to build a huge layout to start with. This is my 8th or 9th layout that I've personally built, along with probably another half a dozen of friends' layouts that I've built. So you don't have to make it big, you just want to go have some fun and get out there and run those trains. The West Valley Club, and along with Sun City Grand, I belong to both clubs. We had a meet last February. We had some people come out and ran some trains in the afternoon. And then this big thing for Make-A-Wish, and then the convention next year. Well, that's what it's all about. It's not the kind of hobby that you have that you want to keep to yourself. You want to share it with other people. Many of my neighbors are looking forward to tomorrow to see the layout. It's a thing you want to show off. The layout, well, it doesn't matter. The layout I had in Hawaii, you could see from the street, and people that would come by, would obviously stop. Do you mind if I come and look? Well, it's not the kind of thing you're trying to hide. The trains will eventually run through the front of the house, out into the front yard, so everybody can see them.
Hi, we're Marcia and Ennis Thompson, and the name of our railroad is Bonneville Mill Railroad. It's the second edition. Our first edition was in a home for 8 years in Mesa, and we've moved to Retirement Village in Sun Lakes, Arizona. We moved in this home a year ago, October, and we really got started on this in July of '06. This is quite a bit, like I said, downsized. We only have about 225 square foot of track. Everything I have is track powered. We have a cog rail, a small recreational track, which I call it, and a multi-train system track, a loop over a loop. And a lot of the design of the track layout is done by Dennis Busby. He's an ABTO, and he's helped out quite a few fellows here in the valley. I primarily work on the railroad. I consult Marcia as to some artistic stuff because she used to be an art major in high school, and we both went through elementary education in Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. She has a lot of good ideas on color and things like that. One big influence in my design of my railroad is Paul Busby in the Midwest. I like the work he does, and everybody knows Paul, and he has a lot of metropolitan layouts throughout the United States. And I recommend that anybody go see him. They're sure good with ideas. I know we can't build stuff like he does because we don't have the expertise and the money behind us, but he's got a lot of good ideas.
I give Ennis a lot of moral support. You know, he gets upset real easy, and so it's worked real good. And we've really had an exciting time doing this. It's hard to think now that we wouldn't ever do it. And so we've been at this house a year and a half, and then we were in Mesa for 8 years. So it's been a lot of fun. We've met a lot of friends, and it's been great. Very rewarding.
One reason we moved from Mesa is our last Christmas open house. In 17 days we drew 11,000 people. It just got a little bit too much and overbearing. We thought it was kind of time for a move, and you say, well, don't be open as much. Well, people intimidate you and come to the door and look through the windows and call you up, and everybody wants to know why you haven't got your layout open. Since we moved out here, we've been affiliated with 2 open houses, and first one was last Christmas in 4 days, 3 hours a day. We had 970 some people through. And this is a gated community, and it kind of thwarts a lot of people from getting in here. It's not that I don't want people to see in here, but the neighbors kind of frown upon all these outsiders coming into Sun Lakes. I guess that we're all retired and kind of set in our ways. Advice for beginners, I'm talking to Tim now. I guess you just gotta get started. It's real tough. And as you get older, you'll find out it's tougher to go out in the garage and do work and things like that because you just don't have the motivation. So I think the more young people you get in the hobby, the better off you are. As G-gauge, I really like G-gauge because it has a good feel. Yeah. And I think you can see it real well. And lots of kids come around here and they don't bother the trains like they do. I've been to O-gauge shows and HO shows, and they're so fragile they come off a track a little bit easier than what the G-gauge does.
But it's hard to get the young people involved because they have their own family to take care of, and we realize that now too. So it's hard.